one thing to nerf, one thing to buff, and one thing to remove.
Can I think? A champion?
Just from anything.
So, item?
Just anything? Anything, okay. There's a lot of things to choose from, of course.
That's really easy.
I would like to buff... Wait, which ADC hasn't been good for a long time?
It feels boring to say like I would buff an AD carry thing, because then I'm so biased.
Buff, 80 carries, like the role.
Yeah, Draven buff.
Zyra, because she's my favorite champion.
Amumu, because my favorite champion.
Darius should be buffed.
It would probably be Camille. Buff, favorite champion.
Darius should be buffed.
It would probably be Camille. Buff, Trundle.
I would buff Pike. I just want to be able to jump in and ult some people, get some gold.
Some of these champions,
I would like him to.
some of these suggestions are actually really good. Like some of them. Like Camille, I think, Trundle, Amumu, Pike,
Be more
Zyra.
support champ rather than assassin.
I would buff assassins like Akali.
What? Okay, actually, I know. Quick blades in a way where it could be used on more champions, because I think when I play Kog'Maw and I use this item, it's so much fun. So I wish I could use this item more on other champions.
That's a good suggestion.
Actually.
That's a good suggestion. That's the best one so far.
Trinity Force didn't really have a good place in this meta.
People are already starting to play Darkseer and
Disagree.
refillable potion because it's more efficient, so Doranstring is something that I see could be buffed.
Agree. That one's also a good suggestion.
So what I would like is like other roles bringing more engage to the table, maybe like this Ioani, Zac meta again. It allows more support champions to be
I agree with that one too.
played in the meta. Buff
John,
tank
is that-
itemization, because I feel like tanks are trying to grab as much damage as possible, squeeze into your build. It's not really the tank fantasy I enjoy, but murdering people with tanks is fun too. It's just, I feel like it'd be good if tanks were a little bit beefier.
Buff Arden Sansa, I think. I would like to play some Arden champs again.
Actually, I wish they would remove Arden support. I hate Arden support. The game is so boring. It just makes everything so slow. I don't like that.
If I can nerf something, it will be definitely Gwen, because she's so broken.
Maybe Gwen.
Probably Gwen.
Actually, just nerf Gwen's W, please. Like, please, for the love.
Gwen's W, me and Alice already mentioned this multiple times. Gwen's W is not a normal spell. Gwen W is an ultimate spell. It's an ultimate spell on her W.
Love of God, like the spell lasting 5 seconds is just absurd. Like, just please. You're a burst champion, you get your damage out, you should be vulnerable after that. Gwen is not vulnerable after doing her damage, and that's a problem.
Nerf, Gwen, delete Viego. Every new champ, I feel like every new champ when they are coming out, they're just like so broken.
Obviously, I would nerf the jungle role because the jungle role is OP.
The jungle role is pretty broken.
Every jungler that can clear 6 camps before the crab spawns.
I would nerf jungle. I think jungle, it doesn't make sense to have blue
Remember
buff.
guys, this video was recorded in Spring Split, where jungle was even before the nerfs, I'm pretty sure. So this is all justified.
The whole time. They have so much mana regen in the jungle. They have too much life still in the jungle. Like, they can come gank your lane, you chunk them to 10 HP, they go...
That was always the issue. That's the thing I complained over years. Their sustain is so high, they can gank you, they can fail the gank, they can go 5%, they go back to jungle, they're full. It's a problem. Remove smite healing. Remove Omnivamp completely.
Go do one camp and they're full HP again. I think it doesn't make any sense.
I would like to nerf jungle. I don't like when...
Thing is, this is all for fun. They're never gonna like listen to this or like implement changes based on this. Well, I kinda CBA playing today, so oh, you pick Olaf. Yeah, that's interesting. It's not an Olaf game at all, actually. It's the opposite of an Olaf game. Let's play Karma and shield you. Let's play Seraphine and shield you. And Seraphine doesn't work in search bar. Let's dodge. Amazing.
Enemy jungle wants my lane to be...
I dodged again because Seraphine doesn't work in search bar. I keep forgetting. This is probably what, the 3rd time in my life that I dodged because of Seraphine not being in search bar. But it's okay. It's never gonna get fixed. It's not gonna get fixed. The client is just too old for that.
Destroyed for no reason, and jungle chooses which lane doesn't play the game, so
I would like to play the game sometimes too.
They could nerf every support in the game, basically, like every tank support that people could only play like Xerath and Vel'Koz support, then it would be fun to play.
What I would like nerfed is Tryndamere, because that champ is not balanced. It's just crazy for me that a champ has crit at level 1, like 30%. There is no skill behind the champion, in my opinion, which makes the champ boring to play against.
I want the Ocean.
I don't like the argument of having crit level 1 because Tryndamere cannot actually fight level 1 majority of matchups. Plus he never gets to 30% crit because he cannot kill all the minions before fighting. So getting 30% crit is very unrealistic.
Ocean Drake to get nerfed because it's really annoying.
Ocean Drake? I think Ocean Drake's shit.
To do it because the slow is too big.
I think
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. I mean, I understand that point.
right now tenacity is just like people just get out of my CC in like one.
There's a problem with dragons, which is that Cloud does insane amounts of damage and Ocean does insane amount of slows. And both of them are arguably the weakest drakes. And then you have Mountain and Infernal, which are both too easy to do and they both do no damage. I mean, that's a problem.
1 second and in half a second even, so yeah, that makes me sad. So I would nerf tenacity. And then I would remove.
Tenacity nerf is a good suggestion. The problem is too many champions have CC. So you can't just nerf tenacity. You would have to also nerf the champions with CC. Because if you nerf tenacity, you're just picking CC in every comp, just 5 CC champs or 4, and then the game's not fun because you're not moving.
Mercury treads. I think Mercs are very imbalanced as a support. Whenever
Mercs would be very unbalanced if Ionian boots wouldn't exist. I mean, that's just true.
I play against Mercs, it just feels like my champions don't do anything. If I CC them, they just walk out half a second later.
There's a lot of things that I would have liked to have removed from the game. Autofill system, the dodging system, all the new champions I would like to have removed.
Stride break.
I already mentioned you can't remove dodging from the game. It's impossible.
Brawler's Claw, Gale Force as well.
Kiana, Kassadin, Soraka.
I really want to remove Gwen.
Soraka.
Because when she's in front of me, I just have to ignore her and run to my base. I can't hit her. There's no counterplay.
Gwen, maybe?
Remove Viego.
Gwen and Viego, I want to delete those champs.
I think I'd remove.
They're both toxic towards the game, but Viego more than Gwen, so I understand. It's like, you know, there's a problem when majority of pro players complain about them, but nothing's gonna be done. They're new champs, they have to be in the game, they sell too well.
Remove Yuumi, because I feel like every time my support wants to play Yuumi, we cannot lane. So it kind of ruins.
I mean, Yuumi is also a toxic champ. I mean, they needed like, what, 1 year to get her to a state, and even then she's unbalanced, so yeah.
Ruins my game.
She's a failure design. She shouldn't be in the game.
And also ruins his game. I can see the fun of playing Yuumi, because once you make a late game scenario and you jump on your Gwen or whatever, you just make a pentakill. But in lane, like when I'm playing in Challenger, I can't lane. It's not possible.
Seraphine, I feel like this champ is so annoying, and it's kind of like new Yuumi, right? You used to play against Yuumi and you used to hate it, but she got so nerfed you don't care anymore. And I feel like Seraphine is the same, where sometimes she's so OP that she just presses W and everyone's full HP and her ult is like half of the rift, and it's just so annoying, this champion.
Zoe. I hate this.
Honestly, Seraphine is not a bad suggestion, because I think if all these champions wouldn't exist, like Viego and Gwen and Yuumi and stuff, then Seraphine would be like next in the line. So it's just like Seraphine's after all of them. And I think Zoe is a bad suggestion, because Zoe is so nerfed now and she's so bad that you don't even need to remove this champ anymore. She's just non-existent.
This champion.
Remove Kiana. This champ is so annoying in solo queue.
I agree with that. Kiana has toxic gameplay.
Move Quicksilver Slash. I don't like that there is an item that removes CC.
The scribe.
No one buys QSS though. The item's kinda weak, because there's too much tenacity in the game, so I don't think you remove this item.
Fire plant, the one that gives vision everywhere. I love playing with fog. If I get spotted by one of those plants, then that's very triggering.
I will actually remove the visual art of the GA. I can't see if they have GA or no.
Remove teleport.
That's been a thing how many months now? The GA is invisible. They haven't done anything to fix it, and they won't. It's gonna stay like this till GA gets some rework. Proud games, by the way.
Nerf flash.
Okay, one thing I would like to get removed is the teleport spell. Like when you're a top laner and they have teleport and you make a really good play, they can just base and TP back to the lane or they have a good wave status, and then they TP bot, get 2 free kills, and there's nothing you can do about it, which is kind of sad sometimes.
You can't nerf flash, every champ is balanced around flash.
Obviously you can get the same thing, but I think the factor that this is in a game is kind of just odd. You would just battle it out, you know, who's the better player in the lane. That would be really nice, in my opinion.
League of Legends perfect, no need to remove anything, all good.
Buff AP items 3 times. I mean, they haven't shown it, of course not. We have what? We have ADC, a Rail and Soul one. That's interesting. Less used runes. Do you see? That's a good suggestion. That's a good suggestion. Press the attack. I disagree. I think press the attack is a really good keystone. Swain. Nerf Gwen 8 times and Viego 3 times. Yeah, interesting. When are we gonna nerf Gwen? Ability haste is a good suggestion. I mean, but by ability haste they probably mean like Ionian boots. They're giga unbalanced. Or the fact that every mythic item gives you 20 ability haste is super unbalanced as well. Gwen's W. I love how the person specifically said W, which is an ultimate spell, not a normal spell. Gwen has 2 ultimates. Karkan Slayer. Riven, that's a weird one. Remove Gwen and Viego. Yeah, Gwen and Viego, everyone complains about them. Are we going to remove or nerf them? Absolutely not. Shaco I think is a good suggestion to remove, but I think what should happen to Shaco is he should just get reworked. I shouldn't remove him, should just rework him. He needs a rework. Chanters. Imperial Mandate. Yeah, the item's a failure as well. The item's a complete failure, but most of them are a complete failure. Mercury chats. Yeah. This episode was filmed before summer season kicked off. This is before jungle changes, I think. I think by the way, Riot cannot buff Navori. I think the item is so, like, the item is gonna become so OP so fast if you buff its cost. Because like the cost is what makes the item not being built. Like if you buff Navori, we might as well see a meta where everyone builds this shit. And it's unhealthy.